Heyo Kaneko, it's Amanda or Queen Nakayasha, and happy Autism Awareness Month! Yay! Yeah, April is Autism Awareness Month, and apparently the single color for autism awareness is blue, although typically it's just puzzle pieces that are put together and they're in all the primary colors. But yeah, I'm wearing blue for this video. Speaking of this video, in this video I'm going to talk about my life with autism, because not very many people know, but I am on the spectrum and I like to talk about it. I was never really aware of my condition, or I don't even know what to call it, until I was probably in high school. But my parents originally thought that I had ADD when I was really young, and when I started elementary school, like in kindergarten, I was actually in two different types of classes. I was in a mainstream class, and I was also in a special education class, although I didn't even know that it was called special education. I just thought that I was special, yay, I have two teachers, I have two sets of classmates. But I did notice that in the special ed class, my classmates were very different from the kids in my mainstream class. Yeah, but I still really liked it. Throughout my school life until I was probably in, I believe it was 10th grade, I would be taken out of class for testing, to see how well I know stuff or how I react to things mentally. So when I was 16, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. Compared to autism, Asperger's syndrome is more of a high functioning form, and in my honest opinion, it's not as quote-unquote bad as autism, because it's high functioning, and a lot of people wouldn't suspect people with Asperger's to even be autistic, because Asperger's people wouldn't really come off as autistic. I almost never tell people that I have Asperger's, because I don't want to feel like I'm bragging about it, oh, I have Asperger's, so I am special. But whenever I tell people that I have, for the first time, that I have Asperger's, they all have the same reaction, really? I would never have guessed that you were autistic. Now you may be wondering, what exactly is autism? Autism is a social disorder, sometimes considered a learning disability. Well, at least Asperger's syndrome is a learning disability, but it affects how one would communicate with others. Typically people with autism are very introverted. I am a perfect example of an introvert. I hardly ever talk to people unless they talk to me first, and then over time I would open up, but it takes me a really long time for me to get comfortable with talking to people, because I get really scared and stuff. Examples of how Asperger's syndrome would be considered high functioning is that if there is a certain hobby that you really like doing, you would be super concentrated on it, which would I guess explain how well I do at knitting or crocheting or any other types of crafts, because I really enjoy doing it, and I do it really fast and with a lot of precision. I am very attentive to detail, and that's one perk of having Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's syndrome can also be considered a learning disability. We would learn how to do things a specific way, and maybe not at the same pace as a normal person. For example, I am really bad at learning how to do things just by hearing people like explain themselves. I am more of a visual type of person, which is why I like watching tutorials so much, because if I see someone doing something that I want to learn how to do, I could just like follow what they're doing and then I know it. Some cons of Asperger's syndrome would be being more prone to depression and anxiety and, like I said before, socially awkward. I suffer from depression and anxiety almost all the time, and like just by seeing me like talk to the camera, you could tell that I'm socially awkward because I would like lose eye contact. But I guess in my sense, having Asperger's syndrome isn't that bad. I mean, I really like being able to have so much concentration on things that I really like. And even though I'm such an introvert, I do eventually open up to people, and I have so many great friends right now who understand me. But one problem that I have is that I technically don't get along with other people with autism. It's just that to me, other people with autism, they don't really see me as one of them, so they're not very nice to me, and I am very touchy and I would get upset easily. Like, I hate it when people are mean to me, like, I guess all normal people, but I would take it very seriously and I would get like really depressed over it because I hate it when people don't like me. And I guess because of that, I also have OCD, and I recently discovered that could be for a whole different video. There are actually quite a few famous people who have been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, such as actor Dan Aykroyd, singer Susan Boyle, former American Idol contestant, I guess I could say, James Durbin, and former contestant for America's Next Top Idol, Heather Kuzmic, I think that's how it's pronounced. There are also celebrities who are suspected of having Asperger's syndrome or autism in general, but they haven't been confirmed. For example, Bill Gates, Andy Warhol, Abe Lincoln, Robin Williams, Al Gore, Tim Burton, Michael Jackson, Alfred Hitchcock, Woody Allen, Bob Dylan, Jim Henson, and Mark Twain. When it comes to gender, every 10 men who are diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, only one woman is diagnosed. So females with Asperger's syndrome are actually pretty rare, so that means I am a rare case, I guess. Now you may be wondering, how do I deal with my condition? Therapy usually works, sometimes group therapy if you really want to take a large step into that. Therapy actually really helps me, and I go to a psychiatrist and I take medications for my anxiety and depression, and it really helps a lot. Well, that's all I have to say about this video. I hope you learned something about the autism spectrum, and me especially, I guess. If you want to see more me, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!